I don't see anybody. Anybody on this video?
Anyone's there?
I don't see anybody there. Wait, there's one person right there. No, it was a person that was a speck on the lens. I don't think you have anybody watching today.
They're not coming.
No, I don't think they're coming.
I thought they were going to come and sew.
Well, you can sew with me. No, maybe not.
Hi everybody. Welcome to Quarter Inch Seam. I'm Angela. Welcome to my sewing room. Today we are going to make a pillowcase. I'm very excited. Sorry, I have my phone up here. So I'm packed in here like a sardine. So anyway, who cares? We're going to make a pillowcase today. I figured out what I'm going to do. This is day 5. I think. So I figured out what I'm going to do with those panels. Those really pretty. Oh, it's all pinned now. I actually got my acting gear and got the project kind of set up before. Can you see it? This is that Aurora Borealis fabric. Isn't that pretty? It was a panel, right? It was a panel. It was, and I had 2 panels, and I couldn't figure out what to do with them. And it dawned on me yesterday. I was trying to think, or yesterday before, I don't know. Well, I was trying to figure out what to do for, next project and pillowcase, and then I put the 2 together. Now, don't forget, tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time, so you'll have to Google it depending on where you're at, okay? We're going to go live. We're going to do it live so long. Oh, I'm so nervous. And we're going to do a jelly roll race. And I had this, so you got to get 42, 44, 40, 2.5 inch strips. So you could slice up an old bed sheet if you don't have the fabric. You could just do it with yardage, cut it up, or just get a jelly roll. Thus, jelly roll race. Put on your running shoes, and we're going to do a jelly roll race together. And a bunch of people have commented that they've never done one, and they thought it would be fun. The first time I ever did one, I was so intimidated, and I'm such a confident person, but gosh, I seem to be just sharing all of my phobias. I was very nervous about it, and it went so well, and it was so fun. I loved it. And I'm going to try and talk to you guys and chat while I'm sewing, but it's a pretty noisy project because it's just constant sew. It's just sew. It's like a race. And I was going to use this one, Kansas Trouble's Favorites. It's from 2019. It said Moda by KT Favorites. Oh, KT Favorites by Kansas Trouble's Quilters. So I don't know. It's a very cute kind of home, old schooly, kind of Midwestern fabric. I think it's very pretty. I'm just not sure I want to use it for this blanket for like a jelly roll race. If I just don't know. So I'm going to look through my stuff and then I'll decide tonight what I'm going to do. Whatever. Today we're going to make a pillowcase. So I watched the tutorial, and everybody who does pillowcases that does these pillowcase videos is like, oh, it's such an easy project, so quick and easy. But I literally had to watch the video like 10 times. I'm sure once you get it in there, it's going to be okay, but we'll see. Now, here's where I'm a little stymied. I'm going to sew it together. I just figured it out. I was like, I'm going to sew it together and then roll it up. No, silly. Okay, so I've got the fabric that I cut so that it's kind of the right dimension for a pillow. And then you've got this, the loop part at the top. Okay, and then this little flange thing. I wrote it all down, but I've had so much going on this morning. I've had a lot going on and not a lot going on. I got a lot on my mind, but not really a bunch of stuff going on. Anyway. Whatever. We're going to roll it up, and then we're going to sew the ends together. Is that what we're going to do? We're going to roll it up. Well, that's not going to work. I think we should, sorry, pardon my reach. Pardon me, excuse me, pardon me. I think we're going to have to, go back to this thing. Because I was like, okay. The one that I was watching was Missouri Star. And so some of you are probably screaming at the pillow, at the computer or your phone right now. Okay, cut the fabric to size. I did that. Fold the pillowcase fabric in half. The pillowcase fabric in half. Stitch 1/4 inch from the edge. Okay. This is not going to work because I've already done it for a different. I've already done it a different way. Here's what I don't understand. Everybody's why am I rolling up? This video is probably not going to be on the favorites list. I had big hopes. The end result, maybe. But it's just stymied me. So let's just see here. Okay, skip it. Okay, let me just take a look here at what in the world. Okay, okay, all right. She's rolling now. Roll it up. Okay, I just got it. Which is kind of what I thought, but I couldn't figure out how to get there. Okay, so all this stuff pinned together. Now we're gonna roll it up. We're gonna roll this bad boy up, which we're gonna. She kind of made some folds so that you're not rolling this torpedo forever. Okay, so we're gonna roll the pillowcase part. We're gonna roll the pillowcase part up. Okay, I guess relatively tightly. Roll it up. And then, I'm on the wrong side. You're going to basically put this inside of this. I got it. I got it. Okay. So you roll the pillowcase up, and then you take the 11-inch, the bigger, that's the envelope, the loopy thing at the, at the end of a pillowcase, it'll all make sense. It makes sense if you do it. If you watch the little YouTube stuff 17 times, you'll get it. Okay. Did she move her pins? Oh, that's what she did. She moved her pins. Yeah, because my pins are... Because now my pins are in the wrong place. I mean, you have to repin it. So you have the 3 layers pinned together. This is not going to teach you anything. Please do not use this as a reference for how to make a pillowcase. So then you've got to repin it. I won't tell you my idea for a pillowcase, how I would do it. Yeah. Then I'd be the millionaire. So, what are you doing today? Have you already got your fabric out for the jelly roll? I think it's going to be fun. And I love when I get to sew on a live with you guys, because it's fun. It's just so darn cute and fun. What else is going on here? It's very warm today. It's going to be 90. And we were going to go do a bunch of yard work. I'm not doing that right now. We're just, sometimes you just got to go off the beaten path a little bit. So we're going to go take a little drive. No place exciting, no place far. Steve's got some stuff going on tomorrow, super early in the morning. So I am going to clean my house. Because lately I'm not sitting on top of it very well. That's just the truth. Just not. And I don't like that. But by the same token, I don't know. There just seems to be always something going on. Or something that drags you away. Or something you'd rather do more. And I do have to do some grocery shopping today. I know, it's thrilling stuff here, isn't it? Okay, I think we're almost done. One more pin. It's going to be cool. It's going to work. I'm curious, have you ever made a pillowcase? If this goes well, I could use some new pillowcases. And I think that this is probably a good use of, like, a yard of fabric. Yeah? I mean, it must be. Okay, put this hot dog over your back. Ouch, God. I always pin the wrong way. You're supposed to pin down. I always end up pinning up. I don't know why. I have no idea. But it's the silliest thing, because what ends up happening is I spend most of the time picking myself with these pens. Okay, you ready? Okay. Close your eyes. Just kidding. Okay, come closer. Come closer. Hi. Okay, here we go. Get that lined up. I thought my cuts were pretty straight, but they weren't totally straight. Now, they did say, because you're going to end up turning this thing, to really give it a good backstitch. I will say this, the one thing I'm not totally excited about is the backstitch feature on this machine, and I don't know if I'm doing something wrong or if it's somewhere else. because it's a button. It's just a little button here, and it only goes back like 3 stitches, and it's slow. So I don't know. I guess I could use my hand wheel. Ah, no, that's not really. Anyway, that's one thing I would probably do a little bit differently on this machine. But I tell you what, it's probably the only thing that I have found. I should probably just stretch out the fabric a little bit now, huh? Dope. Okay. Oh, I also wanted to update you. So I think I mentioned it yesterday, I'm almost done with the Covenant of Water. Yeah. It took me a while to get through this book just because I've just had a lot going on these last, and it was a long book. And by the time it seems like lately I've been going to bed too late. Because by the time I get into bed, when I'm finished with the stuff, a little tidying up stuff you want to do around the house and just unwinding, and by the time I'm done with all that stuff, it's so late that I read a page and I'm tired. And this is too close to the edge. Okay, hold on. Too close to, that's not, there's no way that's a 1/4 inch. Okay, let's just back up a little bit. I didn't mean to do that. I'm going to start sewing it again. I don't like the seam. I feel like when I did the back stitching there, I don't know, I feel like yeah. Really wasn't much of it really wasn't a good 1/4 inch. Which I have a tendency to do quite often. I just sew, I don't know if my brain just kind of hits a speed bump or my eyes hit a speed bump, but I think I'm on track for like a 1/4 inch or whatever, and I'm just really not. I'm just not quite. And you think you are, and you think that's what you've sewn, and it's really not. And then as you're putting like quilt blocks or whatever together, you realize that you're just way far off, and then stuff doesn't fit right. Okay. Gosh, I hope this comes out cute. So that's the day today. We're going to go do that, and then I think I'm going to put some burgers on the grill. And do a little grocery shopping. You know what's also throwing me is, I've been sewing that rag quilt, which I am adding another row. So maybe this afternoon, if I slip in here for a few minutes, I'll get those last 2 rows sewn up and added on. I've been sewing on a 1/2 inch seam, and so it's just been different, I don't know, this isn't laying exactly, it's not laying exactly right, but that's okay, I think everything's in there. And it's probably a factor of my pinning from before. So I hope I don't regret taking those out. Offline again. Yeah, 30 days of easy projects. For making a mess. Okay. I'm gonna take out a couple of these stitches. Go back. Okay. Now I think we got it. Now I think we got it pretty well. No! Ugh! Okay. Ay. I'm having such a hard time with this one straight line. The other reason it's taking me a bit to get through this book, because I think I've mentioned I've been watching Downton Abbey, the series. They got me hooked. They got me hooked. Okay, now let's move you back. Blue. And now, okay, I'm not 100% sure on this. Okay, but I think what I'm supposed to do is pull the whole thing out. So I think I'm just supposed to like reverse the tube. Pull the rest of. God, I don't know if this is gonna work. I can't. My brain is like, this can't possibly be right. You know. It just can't possibly be right, and it can't possibly work. It's working. It's working. Okay, I'm telling you right now. When I first started sewing, I was like, "Oh, I'll make some pillowcases. Like that's easy. Like that'll be good, quick. It's like my placemats." And then I started watching these tutorials with this tube and folding over and pulling stuff through, and I was like, maybe I'll just stick with the placemats. But you know what? Okay, once you get your brain wrapped around what you're how it goes, it's oh no. Oh no. I dropped a bunch of pins. And I can't have pins on the floor because Minnie will step on them. And I'm blind as a bat. And now I can't see them. Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay, got it. Okay. Oh, it's gonna be good. Okay, now, here's the only problem. Here's the only problem. I don't know why I said here's the only problem, because I don't know what the problem is. I have to iron. I think I'm going to press this. And then I'm guessing, but I haven't watched. I didn't watch the end of the video because they stumped me with that. So I think what I just do now is just reverse it, right? But what I don't understand is, oh, she just did an over stitch, you know, over the top. Okay, so now I think what I want to do is just iron it a little bit so that the stuff's really flat, and then flip it, you know, right sides together. Gosh, that looks really cool. Holy oh my God. I think that's going to be cool. Oh my gosh. I can't believe this is working. I seriously can't believe this is working. Okay. I should have taken it to the ironing board, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to do it right here. Okay? I'm just going to get it all, you know, laid out. Okay, here's part of the reason that I'm quite pleased with this is, like, I have a couple of other panels, you know, and if you absolutely can't think of what to do with them, this is an idea. And here's the other thing that it taught me is, you know, sometimes you buy these panels and it's like all about the quilt, all about the quilt. I told you this before. I've always been all about quilting, all about making a quilt, making a quilt. It's just about making a quilt. It's not just about quilting a blanket. And I think the longer that you are in sewing and the longer that you're a quilter, a lot of you have told me this, you know, about all these other little things that you do. And that, I'll tell you this, like, that's why I'm having so much fun with this channel and why I'm so glad that all of you are here. I really am. Thanks for coming. Because it just makes it fun, and it just makes you want to do all these different little things, right? Okay, now focus. She didn't really say, although I think I may have just figured out the answer to that question, which is, do you start at the bottom or do you start at the top? And I think I'm going to start at the top. I think I'm going to start at the top. That's where I'm going to start. Okay? And maybe... Okay. Let's go. Ready? So all I did was fold it right sides together. That's all I've done. And, you know, pressed it right sides together. Starting point. Although, I would encourage you on this, if you're like me, and a little bit anal about, you know, like, pillowcases that like, get twist or whatever, is, I think what I should do, okay, so that's nice and square. When you're cutting this, I will tell you this, like, a bunch of people said this in some of the videos that I watched. They were like, make sure your cuts are nice and straight. Make sure your cuts are nice and straight. Because if your cuts aren't nice and straight, it's going to be, the pillowcase itself is going to be all twisty and weird. You know, if you've ever made a bed, made pillows, you know, put pillows away, you know. If you've ever put pillowcases on your pillow, you understand what I'm trying to say? And the pillowcases, or you've gotten into a bed, you know, to go to sleep, and the pillowcase is all twisted. Like, that's, I think that's where that happens, is it happens in the sewing side. Is, you know, the stuff's not squared up. So, I tried to be pretty square because I was using this panel, and so I wanted to make sure that where I cut was, you know, correct. And I'm top of the bottom. we're on the machine. Anyway, even Steve's gonna be pretty. Steve's gonna be pretty impressed. I mean, Steve's always impressed by this stuff, but I mean, he's really gonna. Now, right or wrong, I'm doing a slightly larger seam allowance on this one because I've got a weird gap. I got a weird cut up here. It's not square, so I'm going to give it a little bit extra. You know. If you know, you know. And I'm going to turn my laser on. Okay. And I'm glad I went back and watched that couple seconds of that video because I am going to do a bit of an overstitch on it. So what are you doing today? I mean, you gotta get your fabric ready for tomorrow. So do I. That won't take me very long. Just a few minutes to decide. And then, a bunch of people suggested like a zigzag stitch or whatever. I do a zigzag stitch. But I am going to have to change my thread color, I think. I wonder if I have a purple or something. For the overstitch. Okay. Lift the needle, turn it around to do the bottom. Do I want an overstitch? Have you done pillowcases and do you do an overstitch on them? I'm trying to think about the pillowcases that I have. I don't think. We're going to pass on the overstitch. Let's just finish this. Let's Oops. Okay. I will say this. It also helped me, if you're going to do a pillowcase like this or a project like this with a panel, most of you probably already know this, but if you're going to do something like this with a panel where you've got, like, it's going to be a pillowcase or some, here's what I did on this, and I found it quite valuable. So because of the size of these panels, it really is more for like a king-size pillow. So my daughter-in-law, I don't know if my granddaughter has a king-size pillow or not, but she'll have to get her one for this. Because the panel was too big to not... to do it for a standard pillow. The design, it would have just ruined the design. So once I determined that, I laid a pillow down on top of it so that I could see the parts that I was going to trim off of the, the parts I was going to trim off of the panel, because the panel was way too big. I could visually, because if I hadn't done that, I probably would have cut either too much of the blue, or I would have cut too much from the bottom, and it would have cut into the trees. And the trees are part of the, it really makes it cool. The only thing, okay, so I'm not going to do an overstitch, but what I am going to do is I am going to go back over this stitch. And I think for this round of stitching, I think I'm going to do a zigzag stitch. Okay, go down. Back it up. Okay, here we go. I will say this. Here's the advantage with this. This I think is handy. All I'm doing is following the original single stitch that I had down first. So, I'm not trying to worry about the measurement for my 1/4 inch or whatever. It's already, it's just right there. And the reason I'm doing this is I want to make sure that it really, that it really holds. And then I think I can trim off a little bit of the excess, the frayed edge. Okay, somebody had asked me in the comments yesterday for the, hang on, I'm so thirsty. Somebody had asked me for the measurements for the hair towel. I will put those up today. I haven't done them yet, and it's in the wash. So, I'll pull another one out. What I'm trying to do, but I haven't done it yet, I will do it next week. It is on my list for next week, is I'm going to try and put up a pattern. Like in 2 parts that you can just print on a piece of paper, tape them together, use that as your guide. Because that hair towel thing, I will be honest, it's like this pillowcase thing. I know there's lots of tutorials out there about pillowcases, but until you actually do it, my brain just, I could not wrap around exactly what we were doing. And it was so easy. It really was very easy. And you can just, now that you've got the basic, now that I understand this, it's just like my placemats. So now we're going to open a placemat, hair towel, and pillowcase store. Coming soon to your neighborhood. No, it's not. Once you do it, now, your confidence just goes through the roof, and now you feel like you can be creative. At first you're just so focused on not screwing up the basic, premise of what you're doing, the basic concept. I'll tell you a funny story while I sew the rest of this, the last line of this thing. Put your needle foot, turn it around. When I was in my early 20s, mid-20s, we opened an embroidery business. We started an embroidery business because, we wanted to, I had just been really intrigued by what my grandmother had built, and I felt this kind of calling for a while. Then I lost the calling, and Anyway, I kind of felt this calling a little bit to try and do something like what she had done, and nobody else in my family was any. Okay, blah blah blah. But that's not really the part of the story. So we had fallen in love with the embroidery business, the commercial embroidery. I literally have 8 inches. But that's when the bobbins go out, right? What bobbin ever went out? At the end. I mean, when you're at the, end of a project, or before you start. That stupid little buzzer never goes off before. Okay. Okay. We done that before, but that's okay. Let's see. Let's see if that works. Thingy on there. Nope. Not working. Oh no. Oh no. Yes. Okay. We talk about starting the bobbin in the little holes there. Okay, I've never done that. I put it on there. I give it a couple of runs. I cut it off. Perfect bobbin every time. I don't go through those little holes. There's those little holes on the top and the bottom of the bobbin. It's not really a full bobbin because that spool of thread was almost empty, but it's enough to finish this. And that's really what I want to do. I just want to finish this. Because tomorrow, I will say this. If you've never done a jelly roll race before, here's a word to the wise. You're going to want to have a couple of bobbins. Gosh. Glad I just reminded myself of that. You're going to want to have a couple of bobbins, like, pre-threaded. So, if you buy them pre-threaded, you may want to go run to the store. If you make them on your machine, or if you have a bobbin threader or whatever, you're going to want to have some bobbins ready, because it's going to eat bobbin, and you're not going to want to stop. I'm not going to stop, because it's a race. It's a race. See who finishes first. Big grand prizes at the end. No, there's no prizes. Okay. We are almost done. You know what time it is now? Oh my gosh. Ready? Okay. Here we go. Can't believe it. I honestly cannot believe that I made this. I can't believe it. Came out exactly as I had hoped. It came out exactly as I hoped. Wow. Wow. Like, just wow. That's pretty amazing. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I am really, really pleased. I love you guys. Have a great afternoon. Get your bobbins ready. Get your jelly roll ready. I'll see you tomorrow at 11:30, and we'll race. Have a great day. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Share the channel. Share the video, right, with somebody who is as quirky as you and I are and would like to come and sit and chat and sew with us every once in a while. And remember, only a 1/4 inch seam. Love you guys. Bye.